Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. So I started recording this video back in August of last year, and I actually wasn't going to upload it, but I thought maybe it could help someone else. So I did, I'm still on it, a year without a grocery store, and we blew through, we had two 5-gallon buckets of all-purpose flour, a 5-gallon bucket of bread flour, and then a 6-gallon bucket of all-purpose flour. And because I'm baking everything at home, which I normally do on a regular, but I'm replenishing everything, and because I haven't in the last year, we blew through all of that. So I pulled out this bag that I got in December of 2022. So it didn't expire to September of the following year. So when I was trying to use it, it still hadn't expired. I actually started using it in the end of July, August area, and I was making different things with it, cooking different things, and I always use King Arthur. And I've had one other problem with them, and that was about 2 or 3 years ago when I found a piece of plastic in it. But otherwise than that, this is what I use all the time for everything. I don't use any other brand. So when I started having this problem, I was kind of perplexed. This is the yeast I use. It is the expiration date on top is not the expiration date of the yeast inside, because I use it just for the glass jar in my fridge. So this is my bread recipe. It looked great. Everything looked fine. It went together beautifully. And this recipe I have been using for years and years and years. Probably before I even got married, I was using this recipe. And for some reason, this new flour, I don't know if you can tell, but something weird is going on. I could literally see it starting to deflate before my eyes, and the crust is really hard. It's a really dense bread. Now I tried a bread loaf with it. I tried my roll recipe, which I have been doing with my mother way before I got married. I even thought it was maybe I was hand mixing it with the mixer too much, and I used my bread machine. That's what this is, and none of them worked. So I don't know exactly what's going on with this flour. It wasn't expired at the time, and that's what prompted me to bring out my 3-year-old flour. And that worked beautifully. It worked like it did time and time before. Just this new flour is what I'm having an issue with. Now, if I use it in like thickening or a roux or whatever, it seems to work fine. It's just when I do bread products like my rolls, my bread loaves. I actually tried it in pizza and it seemed to work fine, but we kind of like our pizza kind of on the flat side. So I don't know if that was kind of a fluke and it worked because it didn't have to rise so much as a loaf of bread, but something is going on with the flour that is on the shelf. And this kind of scares me because starting March 1st, we're going to go back to restocking our shelves or our pantry, and every time I turn around there's a recall on something. Just yesterday I saw another recall on whatever it was, but I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do when I have to go and restock all this stuff, because what do you buy? Everything is being recalled left, right, and center. I'm so afraid. I know I can get my meat from my local rancher, so that's fine, but everything else is, what do I do? I mean, I could order it as your standard, but some things they just don't have, or maybe I don't want to buy in such a big bulk. But back to the flour. So I decided to just use this flour in roux and stuff, and I did check the yeast. It blooms just fine, so it's not the yeast. So I'm gonna have to crack open another 5-gallon bucket of flour. This one has a gamma lid on it and it's loose, so I'm going to start, well, I've already started using this and it works just fine. So I did not throw away my failed bread. I put it in the freezer and I just made bread pudding out of it, and that worked just fine. The bread tasted fine. It rose, but as soon as it came out of the oven, I could see it starting to deflate, and the crust was really hard. So otherwise than that, it was fine. I don't know exactly what they're doing to our food, to our flour, but whatever it is, I hope they change it back. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and click that notification bell to be notified when I upload videos. Remember, stay safe and keep prepping.